Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Creative Brain Studio. This is Isaac, and in today's video, we are going to learn how to install Photoshop on our machine. Without wasting much time, let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to learn how to install Photoshop on our machine, and here we are at adobe.com, www.adobe.com. Adobe is one of the leading companies in this creative industry. They have so many products like the Adobe Photoshop, which we are going to learn how to install, the Adobe Premiere Pro for video editing, Adobe Illustrator for vector designs, Adobe After Effects, and who are other design tools that will help make your creative career the good one you're looking for. And so we are going to learn how to install Photoshop. So head over to www.adobe.com. Now, before we install, I would like to let you know that Adobe provides this wonderful tool at a fee. And if you're a student, you get this fee at a subsidized rate. So I'll show you two ways of installing Photoshop. One is to get it from their website here, you purchase and then you get to use Adobe. And the other way is to get from a different source and then install, which is not recommended, but for academic purposes you can install that and then just use. Alright, so let's head over to adobe.com, and then from this tab, the creative and design tab, let's look for Photoshop. So here, right here, we click on Photoshop. Alright, so we click on free trial. So we are for individuals, for students and teachers, for teams and businesses. So you select based on the category you fall into. So let's say we are students and teachers. And so it requires a valid ID for an education discount. So it's just something we are going through. So we pick a subscription, and then so let's go with yearly. Okay, then we continue. It will also require your credit card details. Then they have additional offers. Adobe Stock. Adobe Stock is also one product from Adobe. They provide you with free resources like pictures and other things, other design related stuff. And so if you want that, you can add it or you can decide to remove it. That is based on what you want. So we continue. As the description says, enter your email and you'll be able to access all your Adobe products. So I will just put in my email here, and then it gets to the payments page where you have to put in your credit card details. Free for the first 7 days, and then after that 7 days you can decide to continue using the software or decide to uninstall it. So the payments, they will start deducting after the trial period. And so I will not go through that because I'm not purchasing now. That is with those who want to use for commercial purposes and even for academic purposes. But we will also go through another process of getting it for free, and then we install. And so here at getintopc.com, you can get almost all of the most popular softwares for free here. As I said earlier on, it's just for academic purposes. I will make sure I leave the links to these websites in the video description. Kindly check for these links. So here on getintopc.com, I will search for Adobe Photoshop and then hit enter. Then I just go through the search results for the one I want. Okay, so I will select this one, Adobe Photoshop 2021 free download. Okay, so it brings me to this page where I can read about Adobe Photoshop, an overview of it, and features of Adobe Photoshop, and also the technical setup details, the compatibility. So you check your PC and then you read the technical details here. If you meet these requirements, you can go ahead and install. So after reading this system requirement and you think your system does not meet these requirements, don't worry, you search for another version of Photoshop and then install. But for those of us who still meet this requirement, you can go ahead and click on download, and then our resource will, or our file will start downloading. So you're requested, you're waiting for the download to begin. So I'm using this extension for my downloads, which is IDM. And so if you want, you can also search for IDM and then also install. So it's about 2.24 gigabytes. So I'll start downloading. Okay, so I'll pause the video for the download to finish, and then we'll continue from there. All right, my file is ready and I can see it here. So I can just go ahead and extract. But before we continue, so with those of us who do not meet the system requirements for the earlier one we downloaded, we can as well come here and search for Adobe Photoshop CS6. Okay, so we have the extended setup and then the portable. I prefer the portable because it works on almost all machines or all PCs, and so let's go with the portable. So the same process, you read it's not compulsory though, so you can go through and we see the system requirement for the CS6 is it even works on Pentium 4, and so it's okay if you want to install. And then also check your system architecture if you're using 32-bit or 64-bit, and download the one that fits your PC. Alright, so that is with those who want to use the Adobe Photoshop CC 2020, and those who don't meet the hardware requirements for the 2021, you can go ahead with the Photoshop CS6. The difference between those two versions, they are not so huge that you cannot use. What you can use the CS6 for, you can as well use the CC for. Just that with the CC, it comes with a lot of features that the CS6 does not have. But with the actual work or actual design, both of them can do the same thing. And so you shouldn't be worried if your system does not meet the CC 2021. Alright, so now we have Adobe Photoshop on our machine, whether CS6 or CC 2021, we have it on our machine now. We can go ahead and extract. I'm using WinRAR for the extraction. So I'll extract to a folder. Anytime you download a file from gettingtopc.com, most of their files are zipped, they are password protected. And so we just input 123 as our password, and that is the password for the zip file. 123, click OK, and the extraction will begin. I will pause the video for the extraction to complete, and then we will continue from there. Alright, so our extraction is done, and so we have this folder here. So let's open and see what we have. Okay, so we have another folder inside with a setup file that we can run on our Windows PC. Before we run the setup, I would also recommend we turn off our Windows firewall, because most of the time, because it is not the right file or not official file, the Windows Defender often sees these files as a malware or a virus, which is not. So that is based on the Windows security definition. So let's just turn it off for this time and then install. Afterwards, we will turn it on so that our PC will still be protected. So from here, I'll just go to the Windows security, and then at the virus and threat protection, I'll look for virus and threat protection settings, manage settings, and then turn off real-time protection. So the Windows security is asking if I want to allow this app to make changes to my device, and I'll click on yes. So I've turned off my real-time protection, so I can go ahead and install my. So let's just ignore this one. Now we will turn it on back when we are done installing. So let's just double click on this, or right click and then install. So run as administrator or install anyway. So I've double clicked and we are waiting for the installer to just appear. Okay, so the setup will also ask if we want to allow this app to make changes to. It's saying it is from an unknown publisher because this software is not developed by Microsoft. It's a third party, which is Adobe. And so Windows wants to let you know that you're installing an app from an unknown publisher. If you want to allow, you can proceed. And because we want to install, you click on yes. Our language, we will just ignore it, English. Installation location, it will be installed on our C drive in our program files folder, another folder called Adobe, and then Adobe Photoshop. So we leave the default and we continue. So Photoshop will be installed, and so up here we see installing 5%. That is it. It's not any difficult process. So we wait for Adobe Photoshop to install, and then we can start doing something awesome. Those of us with the Adobe Photoshop CS6 or Adobe Photoshop 7, we'll still go through that same process after extraction. Just open the setup file and then you follow just leave the defaults and continue with the installation. It should be fine. Alright, so when installation is done, we will come back and then we continue. Okay, so you're welcome back. Now our installation is complete. If you got any error during the installation process, kindly let me know in the comment section and I will be very glad to assist you get Photoshop installed. Alright, thank you. So we close the installation complete dialog and then we can go ahead and play with Photoshop. So now that we have Photoshop installed on our PC, we will try to open it and see if it is actually working. Okay, so let's open our start menu and search for Photoshop. So we have it here, Adobe Photoshop. Click on open and then let's wait for it to open. So that's the launcher for Adobe Photoshop, and this wonderful image or design you see here, this artwork, you can do just that with Adobe Photoshop and it's so amazing. Don't worry if the initial process is taking a little longer. I think because it's the first time you are launching the software or the app, it takes a little time to read, and so you shouldn't be worried. I think in the subsequent ones it will load faster. Alright, so Photoshop has launched successfully and now we know our app is working even though we've not started creating designs. And so before we continue, let's go back to our Windows security and turn on our real-time protection so that our system will still be protected against viruses and other malware. So our real-time protection has been turned on. We can close this window and then get back to Photoshop. So this is the interface Photoshop. So this is the interface for Adobe Photoshop CC 2021. We have on our left side some navigations. We have home, learn, Lightroom, photos, cloud documents, shared with you and deleted. In the next video, we'll go through the interface and see what each and everything we see here does. But before we close, just to get you into the mood, let's go ahead and create a new document. We are going to use, let's come to the print tab and select A4. We'll leave the width 210, height 297. Let's leave the default and resolution 300. Let's just click on create. As I said earlier on, this is just to get you into the mood, just to make you ready for design. So we can play with the tools. We have the move to the rectangular marquee tool here. We can use shapes. We can create various shapes here. We can change colors. We can do a whole lot of stuff. So basically this is Adobe Photoshop, how to get it for free and install. We have custom shapes here. I can draw a tree. Yeah, so that's my tree, and so that is Adobe Photoshop. Thanks guys for watching this video. If you have any question, kindly leave your question in the comment section. I'll be very glad to assist you. So thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.